Hello. Wow, StreamYard has changed. It's weird. Uh, just give me a minute. I'll be right back. Right. Present or invite. Share screen. Invite guests. I'll put the link up first. StreamYard is way changed. Plus, I'm using my phone, which I'm not used to. Right. Uh, yeah, so the link is in the side chat. I'm gonna sing a song so people join. Uh, I did it like share your one. I did share screen. Share screen. Screen sharing is not supported on this device. Please use Chrome on your laptop/desktop. I've not got a my laptop stopped working. Right, I'm just gonna have to fucking sing it. So if anyone wants to join, the link is in the chat. Uh, oh, we'll do that one. It's like about 8 minutes long. Or the good one. Right. So stream it. Oh, I silly. Sorry, I was in a different tab. I will even add stage. Add stage. How's it going?
Yeah, yeah, you're in a different tab texting me that you're live, and I'm sitting here in your backstage. How's it going, mate?
Yeah, I'm still getting used to. I'm used to using a laptop, and it's telling me that I can't share my screen because I'm not on a laptop. I'm just on a phone.
Um,
So I want to sing, but I can't because
right,
yeah,
right. That's always been the case, though, to some degree. Um,
yeah. So
yeah,
you have you seen Teen Wolf, the 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 film,
yeah. The original. Yeah. What's his? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Back the future guy.
like
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
the basketball scene?
Michael. What
They've
was
got
his name? Michael J. Fox. What was his name? Michael J. Fox. What was his name? Is that his name? Michael J. Fox. What is his name?
mascots. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So I
yeah, yeah.
wanted to shoot that, but apparently I can't. So I don't know.
You wanted what?
I wanted to share it, then I could sing it, but I can't.
Oh,
And
gosh,
then
it's
if
been decades. It's from,
I'll
uh,
I'll I'll, I'll just
how's
freeze
the song
again.
go? How's it
Uh
go? Shit, I'm trying to play.
oh, that's a good point.
I
Uh,
can't remember.
I can't
What's it?
remember.
Yeah, it's right on
Yeah,
the tip.
uh, no, win in the end. I'm gonna win in the end. Win in the end.
No,
I'm
I don't
gonna.
think I made. It sounds
Yeah,
familiar. You know what? We're gonna. Yeah, it's been like 20 years since I've seen this. It was when I was a little kid since I watched that fucking movie, man. Um. Okay, so okay, you want to sing Teen Wolf. Earlier, you said you called an ambulance, and then they showed up. I guess you waved them off. False alarm.
because my mum was up, so I've got some more vodka now.
Hmm.
So
You know what? I'm
pancake
struggling
myself.
on this. Yeah, I'm struggling on this dating scene, man. Like the dating scene sucks, dude. I fucking hate it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's
but
just like, well, like I'm trying to be a nice guy, you know, and ask
yeah,
girls on dates. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I'm not even over here talking about come over or let's meet at the bar or Netflix and chill, none of that shit. I'm like, let's go for like, okay, here's one that I've really been wanting to do. I want to go to one of these Thai boxing fights. You know, they got like a professional boxing stadium. They got two professional boxing stadiums down the street, and they have fights every night of the week. And they'll like you, and they're not cheap. They're like $50 for a ticket. So, and you'll see like six fights back to back to back. And yeah, I mean, like, I can't get anybody to go with me. There's been two girls that have told me something like, "Oh, I don't condone violence." Oh, I've heard that Thai boxing matches are very brutal. I'm like, bitch, you didn't hear that. You just made that shit up. Or like, but like, also, you could confirm that with 2 minutes on YouTube. You could YouTube it right now. You know what I mean, and confirm it.
yeah.
Like, the fuck you talking about violence? Like
What?
it's a boxing match. They got gloves on and a referee in a ring. Everybody's around the stadium. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's like the Karate Kid video I was gonna play. Yeah, but
That's like what video?
what's happening with that woman that you see?
Oh,
Is that
that
still?
that little match that I had. She's she's stuck on repeat. She broke a fucking circuit in her head in her little head. Like she fucking like I was like because all she says is hi, and I'm like okay, hello, would you like? I'm like hello, would you like to go to a Thai boxing match today? And then like tomorrow is tomorrow. Like she doesn't respond until tomorrow. Then she says hi. And I'm like, okay. Would you like to go to the water park today? The third day. Hi. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
Don't do that. But she
I'm
looks
not
really.
into it.
I know you sent me your picture. She looks really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's cute. She's cute. She's a cute little thing.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
but I don't tolerate this sort of shit. Okay, I don't tolerate this sort of shit. Like I can already tell. Like because here's what's gonna happen. Here's what happens. Let me just explain this to you, okay? If you don't mind, you got a moment? Let me explain some shit to you. Is this all right? What I'm doing right now? Is this okay for me to explain something to you? Okay, good.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah. Okay, great. Because here's what's fucking gonna happen, right? I make an exception, okay? Because this bitch, like she did. I don't know this water park. What do you? What fucking difference does it make if you know it? Like Google it and let's go tomorrow. Like the fuck do you mean you don't know it? And how is it helpful to me? You know what I mean? Like it's over and over and over. And then I'm like, okay, well let's go to this. And now this chick is Thai. I'm saying words in Thai. Let's go to I copy and paste it and I
Yeah,
can't pronounce it, but it's like Niram Surit. It's a famous show here, right? $60 tickets. Okay, I said let's go to Niram Surit. I don't know it. Okay, what about fantasy? No, I don't know that either. Sorry. Well, get on the Google
but
machine and
you, you don't need to know somewhere to go to it.
or
She'll
like I
literally
mean, no,
do it
no, you don't.
without
You
no.
don't. I know, and I've said this. I've said this before because like the problem is I do not have access to the database of what you know. Like the places you're familiar with, I don't know what they are. Okay, but that's irrelevant. That's fucking irrelevant. You know what I mean? Like I spelled it out for you. Yeah, Google it.
Maybe maybe you could ask her where she wants to go.
They don't like that. They don't even they don't like that. Like I mean, maybe I could. I guess you're right. But so many girls want you to plan this shit. But then you offer like three or four suggestions. Like, man, no, I don't like violence. Oh no, I don't want to go to a show. No, I don't want to do a surfing lesson. All right, bitch. No, and I guess at that point I should be like, all right, what do you want to do? God damn. But instead, I'm just like, you know what? Never mind. Never mind. I just give up. I was like, no, don't worry about it. And this girl was like, "Oh, so easy?" I was like, "I quit." I said, you know what? I quit." She said, "So easy?" I said, "It's okay. Don't worry about it."
Yeah, I mean, if she won't go to places that you want to go to,
Right,
and she won't tell you
right.
where she
Well,
wants to go to, you
she did,
you pretty much got to that point. Do you know what
well,
I mean?
she didn't volunteer the thing, but here's the thing. Yeah, you could be like, okay. If I offer three or four suggestions and you don't like any of them, I don't give a fuck what you want to do. You know what I mean? Because it's like I don't. This is a waste of time. You know what I mean? Like if we're not into, I hit you with like three or four different, like a dinner and a show, a surf lesson, and a water park, a Thai boxing match. If none of those things are hitting, like the problem isn't me. I don't care what you want to do at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I get what you're
I
saying.
think that's fair.
Yeah,
I think that's fair. I think that's fair personally. I think that's fair.
yeah.
You know.
But but she was nice looking.
Well, I haven't given up on that one really. Me and her haven't had it out yet. Like all she does is keep saying hi, and I'm like, but there's been a whole bunch of other ones that I've been trying to deal with. Fucking damn, drive me
Yeah,
crazy, man. Drive me fucking crazy, dude. Oh boy, what are you gonna do? I'm not good at this stuff, man. I'm not good at this shit. Like I get annoyed too easily. I'm like, you know what? Fuck off that. Shut the fuck off out of here. Delete, block, unmatch. Fuck that shit. Oh boy, huh? I had to get that off my chest there, bud. How you doing?
no, that's fine. Yeah. So what I've been up to today, I've been vomiting a lot.
ear- earlier you said you couldn't like you had StreamYard was demanding money from you, and we were concerned it was a scam. But it looks like you're streaming now. So what's that about?
Yeah. Oh, I logged into a new account.
A new
Like
a new one
I've got like
or different?
about 10 different StreamYard
That's what I was
accounts.
telling you. I was like, don't pay them. Just log into a different one. That's what I told you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, all right,
Uh,
I'm glad you got that sorted out.
yeah. So I don't have to pay anymore.
Oh man, I found a British pub. I told you about that. I just ate from there. It was so good, man. They got a cottage pie on the menu.
Oh, I love cottage pie.
It,
Yeah.
it, I had it 2 days ago. It was delicious. And then they have an English breakfast. All day. You could get that any time of the day. An English breakfast.
Like
York,
bacon, sausage, and
yeah,
beans. Yeah.
yeah. A Yorkshire. I think maybe even a Yorkshire pudding.
Oh, I had
Homemade.
a I had a black I had two black puddings yesterday.
I never
You
had a
know,
black
black
pudding. Huh.
it's like yeah, it's like pig's blood, and it sounds disgusting, but it's really nice. Yeah.
Sounds delicious. Sounds delicious. Actually. Okay. Well, I'm check. I mean, I didn't see that. I looked their menu up and down, up and down. I did not see many desserts whatsoever, so I didn't see that. But I'll take a look elsewhere and try that
Yeah.
black pudding. Yeah, I'll check it out.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm sorry, sir. Jill is here.
oh no, no, no!
You
I was just place filling. I was actually place filling for Jill. Hello, Jill.
You finally got your stream to work, huh? Well, hard. Congratulations.
Cheers, y'all. Y'all have
uh,
fun.
What's going on, Sterling?
so what do you want to talk about, Joe? Do you want to convert me to Christianity?
What'd you say?
Do you want to convert me to Christianity?
Do I want to?
Yeah.
No, I want the Holy Spirit to do so. But if I do it, you could become a false convert and revert
Oh,
back to what you were. As soon as you and I have a fallout or an argument or a disagreement, you could fall back into atheism. So I would rather the Holy Spirit do the conversion than me.
oh, I get you. Yeah, yeah. It isn't the Holy Spirit the only thing that can actually properly convert you to Christianity.
Yes, but God uses different means, like other people, circumstances, His Word, etc. But ultimately, yes.
Yeah, I get you. Well, once he does that, but why hasn't he done that already? Why hasn't the Holy Spirit already converted me to Christianity if he wants me to believe in Christianity?
Well, I don't know. Ultimately, I can't tell you answer that. But according to you, he already has a couple of times.
No, no, I've never been a Christian.
Now, what about when you were in jail when you came out and you claimed to be a Christian? And
No, no, I said I'd read the Bible. I read the
okay,
Bible. I never said that I was. This is praise, praise I am. They keep saying that I was like nearly Christian. I've never close to being Christian.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it's just wild rumors and stuff.
it wasn't there a second time you claimed to be a Christian when you stopped drinking and for
I just said I'd read the Bible. That's all I said.
there was I could have swore there was a second occasion where you were saying you were a Christian now, but I might
No,
be mistaken. But
can I just say hello to Dwayne Burke, good to see you, man, and Bond.
but I'm glad you
Good.
got your stream working. What
Yeah,
was What was going
I,
on? Like, were you trying to use your phone or?
no, I just needed to change accounts because you only get like 20 hours.
Oh, free hours. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just needed to change account. So I've
Did they
done that.
did they lower it to 20? I thought it was 30 hours a month. Or
No, I think it's 20 now. Yeah. So they
it
said
might have
I
all
had.
it might have always been 20 actually. Because I
Yeah,
remember I used to do streams every week, and I had to limit it to like 4 hours, five
yeah,
hours, 5 hours a week.
yeah. I've used all because I fell asleep. I fell asleep. So I was live for like 18 hours in one stream, but I was asleep for most of it.
And another change they made for us free StreamYard users is they took
Yeah,
away the ability to play clips. Well, you really didn't play clips like I did, but you can no longer
yeah.
play videos
I wanted
unless
to.
you share.
I wanted to share a video, but I don't know how to do it.
Well, you can still share a video, but you have to share your screen. But at one point before they made this change, you would be able to play clips, meaning I can just click on the clip and the video would automatically play. I don't have to go through the sharing process at all. But you're no
Right.
longer, you're no longer allowed to do that,
Oh
unfortunately.
yeah, it says share screen. Jill, would you allow me to sing a song?
Sing a song.
Yeah, Team Wolf.
I have a song for you to sing.
Oh yeah, I'll sing that.
You'll sing any song.
Yeah,
Okay, how about Father Abraham?
Father. Right, give me a minute. Uh, right. Am I still in the stream?
Yeah, here you go. Here's a YouTube video.
Oh yeah, no. Can you share it? That will be easier.
You want me to
I'm a
share it?
little. Yeah, if you could like present it. Awesome. Yeah.
Father Abraham had many sons, and many sons had Father Abraham. I am one
One
of
of
them,
them,
and
and
so
so
are
is
you.
you.
So let's all
All
praise
praise the
the
Lord.
Lord. Right arm, left arm, Father Abraham had many sons, and many sons had Father Abraham. I am one of them, and so are you.
So are you.
So
Let's
let's all
all
praise
praise the.
the Lord. Right on, left.
All right, that's enough of that.
Yeah. No, that was good. I like that.
David, I'm getting quite annoyed at that lady dancing with those kids.
Yeah, yeah. Kids are annoying. Like, yeah. I don't know how to talk to kids. I talk to them like they're adults. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you have to.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how to deal with kids. Right. I'll try to share my screen. Oh no, it's not posted on this. I can't share my screen.
What are you trying to play? Some
Uh,
Metallica.
No, you know Teen Wolf
Teen Wolf.
football scene.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was one of my favorite scenes. Yeah, Teen Wolf. Was there music in
yeah,
that?
yeah. There were two songs. Win in the end. You're gonna win in the end. And then when, oh, sorry, someone's here, I think. Sorry, carry on. Yeah, so I can't share on this device. But it's charged up enough, then I can put it on the, then I don't have to keep. Ah, I have to keep holding it because my laptop's broke, basically. So I'm using the phone, and I'm not used to using the phone, for StreamYard and stuff. But I have to like pop it up on stuff, and I can't find any stuff to pop it up on. Although this might interest you, I do have the Good News Gospel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I
Who
have the
sent you
kid.
that? Did someone send
Uh,
that
s-
to you?
uh, I think I got it in prison.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Sunrise
What
Edition.
what translation is that Bible?
Uh, I will try and find it. It should be on the first page, shouldn't it? Good News Bible.
Is that the
Old
Good
Testament.
News translation?
Uh, no, it just lists all the books. It doesn't say what translation it is. I have got the KJV as well. I know I burned one and the Quran.
It might be the um might be a more contemporary version. It's
Yeah,
probably a thought for thought translation, like the New Living Translation, which is
yeah,
good. Which is good for you because I wouldn't be messing around with the King James. That the atheist novel, they're novelists when it comes to reading scripture. They might be familiar with some of the with Darwin's text and those types of texts, but not the scriptures. So I would stay. And then they try to read the King James and they come up with a bunch of nonsense. But I would do what you're doing and read a more contemporary version. I always recommend that. Reading
oh
more
yeah. I've,
contemporary
I've,
versions.
I've, I've I've been on ACO's. He wants me to do like a writing about it- not the Book of Enoch. Uh,
He wants you,
who's that guy who God killed all his family?
Job.
Job. Yeah, he wants me to do like a work on that
He
and
wants you
write
to
it all
do
down.
a. He wants you to study the book of Job.
Yeah.
Well, here's what you tell him next time he tells you to do that. Tell him I said you need that he needs to study all of Paul's writings before he tells someone to study
Oh,
the book of Job.
that's all. I, I think it ignores all the Bible except for the writings of Paul, which is
Pretty much.
weird.
Well, he even ignores the writings of Paul. I've demonstrated on several occasions as well.
All right. Yeah, it's weird because Paul never met Jesus. He just had. It, is it possible that Paul was just schizophrenic
When you say
and
met, when you say met Jesus, you mean before he died and resurrected. So you got to be clear with the jargon or the rhetoric. When you say met, you mean that he did not meet Jesus until
he
after he
Je-
died and resurrected and rose again. Then he met him
yeah,
on the road to Damascus in his risen form, in his
but, but
glorified state.
he just had a vision. So could he
Well,
not have just been like schizophrenic and just
okay. Well,
you
does the text
know,
describe? Well,
hallucination?
well, hold on. Does the text describe the encounter as a vision? Does it say Paul had a vision?
Yeah, it
No,
does. I think.
no, it does not.
Yeah.
No, it does not. So you can
Does it
call it
not?
a you can call it a vision if that's what you want to call it, but that's not
But
what the text describes.
on the road to Damascus, it
Mhm.
was it. I think describes it as a vision.
Just okay. Now you seem to be shifting. It describes it as a vision. So what you read, you interpret as a vision. Although
Yeah,
although the text doesn't explicitly say this was a vision, it says he appeared.
right. Yeah, I might have got that wrong, but it
Yeah, you're just interpreting it as a vision. Many people do that, but that is a mistake. It's not a vision.
but,
Otherwise, the text would have said Paul had a vision. Whenever the Bible talks
but
about someone having a vision, it says the Lord sent a vision. It says it explicitly. It doesn't say that
yeah,
here. It
but
says he just met him.
there were several people around him, and they didn't see what he saw. So could he not have just been like schizophrenic and you know what I mean? Just not actually met Jesus anywhere.
Could he have been schizophrenic? Well, I highly doubt someone who writes with the eloquence of Paul and is able to speak seven languages all of a sudden loses his mind and becomes schizophrenic, who's a leader of the Sanhedrin Council, which is basically like part of the Congress back then, what would be considered Congress. He
Yeah.
was the leader of the leaders, basically, a Hebrew of Hebrews, he called him. So I doubt how he got to that high position status with being
But
schizophrenic. So you must be
but
considering
it,
you must be
but it,
considering the idea that he became schizophrenic later.
no,
Perhaps
but
he
it's just a claim, isn't it?
Oh,
That
sure,
he
sure,
said.
but the claim of schizophrenia doesn't make sense. That's all I'm pointing out. Unless you suggest that he hit his head, maybe on the road to Damascus after Jesus met him, and now and then he became some sort of schizophrenic. Then,
You,
but someone usually
after,
doesn't rise to that high position, being a schizophrenic.
but you're saying after Jesus met him. I'm
Yeah,
saying he might have never met Jesus, even in a.
because he had schizophrenia, and I'm telling you that doesn't make sense because someone in Paul's position who speaks seven languages, who is the head of the Council of the Sanhedrin, a major council. It's like Congress. It's like Parliament in your country. Someone does not get to that level being suffering from schizophrenia. I'm sorry, you stretch credulity. Doesn't make sense.
But could he not have just been wrong?
Well, what made him wrong? What made him wrong? Did he make it up and then knowing that this would consequently lead to his death, he made it up the entire story, knowing that the entire Jewish
What?
community would be trying to kill him, which they did on several occasions in scripture. Would he just made it up?
But what made him right?
What made him right? Well,
Yeah.
a scribe more than likely wrote,
Could he just
but
been just wrong.
Well, tell me why he's wrong. Tell me how. Don't just say, "Oh, he's wrong." Do you
No,
have any evidence or arguments
I'm
for why he was?
I'm asking the question: could he not just have been wrong? You can't just say he was right and just
Could he have
you
not
know,
had that experience?
yeah.
Okay, so tell me why. Tell me, give me an
No,
alternative. Give me something.
no,
Schizophrenia won't work.
but if he was schizophrenic, then
Schizophrenia
he
doesn't work. I just demonstrated how. If he was schizophrenic, he would not have gotten to the position he was in. Someone that has mental conditions of that severe doesn't climb to the top of parliament. Okay? It just
no, they
doesn't
can't.
work that way.
Yeah, no, they can't do. Yeah.
Do you have schizophrenic people running your Congress, diagnosed with schizophrenia, and they are running. They're presidents of the United States of America, or they're in. Well, I think we do have some in Congress. Unfortunately, we've lowered the bar here in United States, but I do think we have Jasmine Crockett. What Maxine Waters is definitely schizophrenic. She might be bipolar, but
They
yeah.
diagnosed. It was 2,000 years ago, so they wouldn't be able to diagnose someone with schizophrenia. But he could have had schizophrenia.
Okay, a mild case maybe, because someone that's schizophrenic, people are going to notice, even though they don't have they don't have the tools to diagnose and
Oh, there you go.
you know
I'm here.
and
Oh,
make
sorry to
all
I
interrupt.
just
and
say,
make all of these labels and fancy terms, but they would have noticed if someone was speaking to themselves, and they would say this person has the palsy, or this
I,
person has some sort of curse maybe. But they would notice something was different, and they would not put you in that high position with that
but
condition. That thing.
would
Okay.
you tell the difference between Paul knowing that Jesus spoke to him and Paul having schizophrenia? How would you tell the difference?
Well,
Like
again,
some say,
I'm arguing that it's highly unlikely that someone in Paul's position suffered from schizophrenia. So that just militates again. It just doesn't add up. Doesn't make sense. You're just trying to throw something against the wall, hoping it'll stick. But there's no way
what?
someone in Paul's position would have ever been a schizophrenic.
But what is the test? How
The
would you
test
know?
is the test is schizophrenics do not make it to that high level of authority. Normally speaking, they don't. You
Could they?
don't see them in Parliament. You don't see them in Congress, except for Crockett and Maxine Waters. So,
But
but normally,
that,
if you have mental issues that severe, Wildheart, you don't climb that high in the social ladder or political ladder like Paul was. He was the head of the Sanhedrin.
I'm sorry. Have you met Joe Biden? Like, come on, Jill.
Joe
The
Biden
man.
is the wife of a president. Now if you said Joe Biden, yes, he
I said
did
yes. I said Joe. Joe.
he did
Like,
mentally decline, yes, but he wasn't always that case. He mentally
but
declined, and it was covered up by the Democratic Party. That exactly. Thank you for proving my point. Once it was
Jill,
determined,
Jill,
yeah,
shush.
okay.
The
hey, what? I'll
question,
come down.
Jill. The question is, how would you tell the difference between him being schizophrenic and thinking he had a vision of Jesus, which no
How
one
would you
else,
tell the difference?
and him actually seeing Jesus in a vision? How? What is the test
How would
that
you
you
tell the
could do?
difference?
Yeah.
Well, schizophrenics don't normally have those types of. You're probably thinking of a different mental condition whereby you have those types of aberrations. Schizophrenics don't normally see things; they normally hear things. He saw Jesus. Jesus appeared to him.
That could be correct. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, let me think about that.
So he might have been on LSD, some ancient form of LSD, maybe. Maybe he ate the
Yeah,
wrong poppy seed. Maybe
yeah, but
maybe he
like
ate the wrong fruit, flower, or seed, or
yeah,
something, or plant, or herb, or
yeah.
mushrooms.
Today, how do you tell?
How do
How
you
do you
tell
tell
today?
correct
Well,
or wrong?
well, I would just go based off the story. If you're going to make claims onto the story, positive claims about the story
You-
that's not in the story, then the burden of proof will be on you to show
So
that he
you
was
just
schizophrenic.
believe any story.
Until proven otherwise, yes. Until you can demonstrate otherwise, that there is an additional angle or an additional fact that you wanted to add to the story that wasn't in the original story, and you can demonstrate that that should be a part of the story. Paul was schizophrenic. I have evidence from our earlier text or later text or something. You can't just add things to the text and say, well, what if he was this? What if he was black? What if he's white? What if he was 5'2"? The text doesn't care to delineate such. What the text says is that Jesus appeared to him. Why would I
So
assume
so
anything else?
so if you just read a fictional book like Moby Dick or
Fictional.
something like that, you would just believe it because it was written down.
Well, is Moby Dick written as a fiction? You just told on yourself. Moby Dick is written as fiction. It doesn't even attempt to depict an actual historical event as the Bible is doing. So you just told on yourself.
Yeah, but
That's why it's
you're
called
just
fiction.
believing the you
Now,
said
if you
you
said
just
autobiography, if you
said
said you would have been better off
you,
saying autobiography.
you just said the Bible is true because it's written down. So do you
No,
just
no,
believe anything
no.
that is written down?
That's not what I said. I said that until the Bible is written as a historical narrative, it is telling a story about what happened to someone, like an autobiography would. Okay. Until you prove that Lincoln was not born in Nebraska, I'm going with the autobiography of Lincoln. Okay. Until you prove otherwise. Now, if you provide evidence that, hey, he wasn't born in Hawaii, like Obama claimed, his birth certificate is false, then I'm not going to believe the autobiography of Obama anymore. Okay? It's just that simple.
That
It's just not rocket science, guys. Come on. Let's start thinking.
that's 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 the wrong way around. You
That's the
should
wrong
only
way
believe
around.
if you have evidence that it's true. You
Right. The
shouldn't
claims that are made need to
because
be,
it's
sh-
true.
but I'm the one making the positive claim. So the burden of proof would be on me to go out and find the fake Obama, which we did, the fake Obama birth certificate, which we did. So if I'm the one making the claim, hey, this guy is lying about this. This is not how it really happened in his autobiography. The burden of proof is on me, not for the person to prove, to show you a birth
Yeah.
certificate to prove that he's
So
telling the truth. But it's the
you're
burden of proof is
making
on you. So prove
you're
he was
making
a schizophrenic. What's your argument for him being a schizophrenic?
no, you're making a positive claim that
No, you
Jesus
made the
exists.
positive claim about the text. You said that the text he could be a schizophrenic. It's a possibility he could be a schizophrenic. That's a positive claim about the text. What's your argument for that? Just
No,
because he could have been?
I'm not making a positive claim. I'm asking the question: could he have been a schizophrenic?
I don't think he could have been. Okay. What do you think?
What what's your evidence for that?
The
That he
text
couldn't be.
itself doesn't say he was a schizophrenic. I already gave my argument. He was part of the Sanhedrin Council, which is a
Well, they were.
major position. Schizophrenics normally don't climb to that level of position. That's all. What's your argument that he might have been? He might have been. Your
Yeah,
argument that he might have been is he might have been. My argument that he probably more likely was not was what I just said. You haven't provided an argument, just a accusation.
fuck's sake. The argument is is it possible that he was schizophrenic and he never met Jesus after he died?
Well, anything is possible.
Is that possible?
Highly unlikely, highly improbable. Yes, anything is possible. Anything can be possible, except
Why?
for God lying. God cannot lie. Okay. So yeah, when it comes to the natural world, anything is possible. But we're not
You're
concerned about what's possible, but
you're
what's
not getting
more likely.
toilet break.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
What's more likely the case? It's highly improbable that Paul was a schizophrenic. I know the Jesus Seminar group. This was an argument back in the 80s and 90s, believe it or not, on John Ankerberg's show, where John Dominic Crossan showed his ugly face on a number of occasions, and he would argue, well, Paul was, and the disciples even were hallucinating. Well, that argument quickly fell apart when actual psychologists argued that hallucinations don't work that way. Group hallucinations don't happen. There are people hallucinate on an individual basis. So for them to have the same hallucination would be a miracle in and of itself. Scientifically speaking, that is. So Walhar, you're not far off from 1990 as far as your arguments are concerned. You're not too far removed from.
No, you're not understanding my argument. I'm saying, is it possible that he was
Yes, I
schizophrenic?
already answered that. Yes, it is possible. Sure,
It is possible.
of course,
That's it.
anything is possible. Yeah.
Yeah. So is it possible that Paul was wrong about me?
Anything is possible.
Yeah.
Highly
Anything is
unlikely.
possible, Jill.
Anything is possible. God cannot lie. That is not possible. Okay. So if you're just going to argue, oh, is it possible? Is it possible this? Is it possible that? You're not going to move someone like me, because I don't move based on possibilities.
I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just trying to understand.
You're trying to convince yourself. I know. I've been there.
Right.
But that's not how we operate in the real world.
It is possible that Paul was wrong about everything he wrote.
Anything is possible.
Right. So
Anything an alien could have wrote it. It's possible that an alien came down and wrote the Bible, and that's why we have the Bible. So if you're going to play that game, is anything possible? I can wish upon a star. I mean, is it possible? Possibilities. I mean, imagination. If you want to use your imagination, go right ahead, have fun. But I know how the real world works.
I'm not saying it's probable or likely. I'm just saying, is it possible that Paul was wrong?
Yeah, I've already answered that 20 times already. It's possible that an alien could have come down and wrote the book of Luke, and it's possible that these are all aliens from a different planet, not actual humans, the 12 apostles. Sure.
That's fine. That's all I was trying to get to.
Yeah, sure. But you stretch credulity by suggesting that's a possibility. That's all I'm pointing out.
I don't stretch credulity. If it's possible, then it's possible.
No. Highly unlikely.
Hey, Jill, you know what we should do right now? Pull up ChatGPT and ask it what's the difference between possible and probable.
I don't think that's relevant. I think Wildheart knows. I don't think that's necessary. I think Wildheart gets it.
Sorry, I missed that. What was the question?
Not relevant, but necessary. He wanted you to look up the difference between probable and possible.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying it's probable.
Yeah, he knows the difference.
Saying it's possible that Paul was wrong about everything he wrote.
Possibly, it's
And
possible. It's possible you could be in a brain vat right now.
yeah, so we all agree that it's possible that Paul was wrong about everything he wrote. We all agree on that. Yeah.
Even though Paul may have been wrong about everything he wrote, that doesn't really take away the impact he's had throughout history.
Yeah, that's true as well.
It's possible your brain could be in a vat.
Yeah.
I mean, your brain is in a vat. What the hell do you call your skull?
Like this global, or what I call global, or what's called partisan skepticism, is, to me, it's just ridiculous. You're just wasting people's time. Oh, it's possible to this, possible to that, it's possible to that. Well, no one lives that way. This
And so clearly you never met
ultra
MK.
ultra skepticism, I call it. No
You
one
never
lives
met
that.
MK, have you?
Oh, it's possible the floor could fall, and I could fall to the basement right now. I mean,
Can you hear me?
what's that?
Okay, I said you never met MK, have you? Remember MK?
MK Ultra?
No, dude, he was on YouTube. Remember MK? Used to hang around. Used to have like Darth Dawkins on his channel. He always used to be like MK mute.
No, I've never heard of him.
You don't remember him?
No.
Yeah, well, never mind. He was an ultra skeptic, or at least he pretended to be. It was crazy trying to talk to him.
Well,
Now,
how do
they
you
were
know I'm talking? How do
schizophrenic.
you know? How do you know I'm talking right now? It's possible you could be talking to an AI. I mean, come on. I mean, it gets to
That
a
wasn't
point
my
where-
That wasn't my argument.
I know. I was just saying this. You mentioned talking. I mean, anyone can play that game. Like that type of skepticism to me is.
Yeah, no, I was just bringing
Always.
up the fact that I used to know somebody, MK, who was ultra skeptical, like even of his own existence, and he used to say, if I saw Jesus come up to me, I wouldn't believe it was actually him. It'd probably be an alien. Like he was very weird.
I remember him.
Honestly, weirder than you, Waldhart.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, he agreed with Darth Dawkins a lot. But what I'm saying is, if something is not possibly true, then why should you believe?
No, that's not what she said. Not
Yeah,
possibly true, meaning that there's 0% chance that it happened. That's not what you put forward. This is sort of a bait and switch. You said, is it
that
possible
is
that's not the case? Is it a
yeah,
possibility that's not the case?
yeah. So why should you believe it if it's possibly not possible?
If I'm not 100% certain it happened, is that what you're
Yeah,
asking?
yeah,
Well, I live my life without knowing anything is 100% certain. Yet I still move forward with my life. I don't stop
yeah.
and say, well, this isn't 100% certain about this IRA, so maybe I should just
Well,
leave my money under the couch. Well, I'm not 100% certain this couch is going to not be infested with rats, so I can't put the money there. So living that way is just not how humans have lived for the past or since man. It's
yeah,
possible I could burn down this tent by making this fire, so perhaps I won't rub these two rocks together. You'll
yeah. I
never
get.
get anywhere, with
But
that attitude.
if it's possible that the Bible is not true, why should you believe in it?
Because
If
it
it's
demonstrates itself to be reliable, to be probably true, more than likely true.
okay, I'll have to think on that. I'll be right back.
God damn it! I keep dying.
And with that, I'm going to get Obama out of jail.
Oh, come on, you're leaving?
No, I'm just going to take Obama out of jail.
Oh, thought you were leaving.
This is the one who should be in jail because he's really black.
Okay, hold on. Jesus Christ.
Jill, you're
Yes.
not a fucking. Yeah. You're
I'm
too
not.
stupid to be a teacher.
I
Yeah.
am. Okay.
I
What
don't believe you're a teacher.
what's 1 minus negative 1?
1 minus negative 1 would be 0.
Now, see, you made the same mistake I made. Okay, 1 minus -1 is 2. The negatives cancel each other out.
That's what I'm saying. It's 0.
Oh
1
my!
minus negative 1 is 0.
You
We
know
don't
what?
say
You
that
know what? Jill, I'm not gonna argue the point. You're right.
we don't say that the negatives cancel each other out. Also, by the way,
Well,
but when you subtract in integers, you change the signs. You're really
But
adding the
am
opposite.
I am I right? 1 minus negative 1 is 0. Because
Jill, why did you have to bring that up? Honestly, now he's gonna be on this forever.
Okay, so I'm just trying to prove that I'm a math teacher. I don't know how else I can do it without doxing myself.
so what
Honestly,
is
at this point, I think dusting yourself would like really go a long way to actually proving that you are.
It's highly probable. It's highly probable Jill is a math. It's not
what
impossible. It is possible. Is
um,
it possible? Well, Wildheart, is it possible Jill is a math teacher? Is that possible?
it's possible, it's highly unlikely though. Given
Okay,
all
okay. There you go. There's your
it's
answer.
it's highly unlikely.
There's your answer to the poll question. It's highly likely that Paul was telling the truth. Okay. There's your answer. See? Even in your example, even in real life, you don't operate on 100% certainty. You don't know if you're not
Yeah,
100% certain that Jill's not a teacher.
yeah,
You
yeah, we're
could be
not
wrong.
certain about it, but you should have a certain like confidence level, like the Bible is true.
Hmm.
There should be
As
a
far as I
certain
can
confidence.
tell, yeah. As far as I can
Yeah,
tell, based on my faculties, my
yeah,
senses, the Bible is 100% correct or 100% true, as far as I can determine.
yeah. That's fine.
So that means so that means you and your wife are actually brother and sister. So you're in- you're in you're in ancestral marriage. If the Bible is true.
Brother and sister in Christ, yes.
No, if Genesis is true, right, then that means there were only two people on the planet who got together, and then you know where I'm going with this.
Well,
Yeah,
we might be cousins or some sort of third or 50 billionth
yeah, but
cousins. She
yeah.
might be my niece, but man, I don't know what.
If God created Adam and Eve, and then all their children, they will be ancestral.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
right. Where we would argue that that didn't have an negative effect on humanity early on in human civilization. Didn't have an effect.
It doesn't matter whether it has a negative effect. Do you believe that incest is
like
wrong?
like palsy.
No, Jill, do you believe that incest is wrong?
Today, yes.
But not yesterday.
Not early on in civilization where God is spreading or multiplying humans in the earth. Early on in our human existence, we would argue that there was no palsy or negative effect DNA wise when two
I'm I'm not
cousins
talking about
met, or got
DNA.
married. Or
I'm saying like morally. Do you believe that incest is wrong?
well, remember, morals biblically come from the idea that someone is being injured or harmed. God, there are some civil and ceremonial laws which have nothing to do with being intrinsically or not intrinsically
Right,
wrong, like wearing
right.
certain
Yeah,
fabrics.
yes or
But
no, do
but
you
the
believe that incest is wrong?
no, the moral aspect of the law says
Okay.
that you have to be harming someone. So no, it's not wrong if no one is harmed. If you do it today, then someone will be harmed because the DNA today is not the same as the DNA early on in human civilization. So it's wrong today, and that's why God put that in the text later when
So,
civilization began to
so,
grow. He then says you can no longer do this because now there
so,
is a genetic defect that is occurring because of this behavior. So stop it.
so God changed his mind. One, one,
About
once.
yes, about what humans should be doing because humans change, they
Let me
evolve.
finish the fucking sentence, you ignorant prick.
Oh, you said so
What
God changed his mind. I thought that was your sentence. Okay.
incest is right, and now he believes that incest is wrong.
That's correct because humans have changed. Their bodies have evolved. Even you would admit that. So if our
I
bodies
thought,
involve, let me finish my answer now. So if our bodies evolve,
I thought,
to
I thought, I thought that God was unchanging.
God, that did not change.
And
Did you listen to what I said? I said our bodies changed. I said we changed. I didn't say God changed. You didn't hear me. I said we changed. We changed. So for instance, if our bodies develop the ability to fly in 1,000 years, 2,000 years, then there would be no prohibition to someone jumping off a roof. Okay, so you can't say, has it always been wrong to jump off a roof?
no, but do you believe that today God believes incest is wrong?
Yes, that's why he put the law in place because at a certain point in our genetic development and our genetic
Then
evolution, you're
he
cutting me
changed
off.
to
He did
think
not
that incest
change. He
is
did
one
not.
point
The Bible
and
says
wrong.
he does not change. You're conflating the
Then,
two. God
then
does not
he's
change, but
Jill,
his
Jill,
rules,
shut the fuck up for a second. Let him talk, please.
for us change. Yes.
right. So at one point, God thought that incest was okay,
Hmm.
and then today he doesn't believe that incest is okay. That
That's
is God
correct.
changing, you dumb
How did God
motherfucker.
change? What changed about God? Did something change about
He
us? Did something
okay,
change about us?
no, he believed that incest was okay at one
He
point, and
believed.
then now he doesn't believe that incest is okay.
Why? Because we
That
changed,
is God
not because
changing
he
his.
changed. Right? You're conflating the two. We changed, so God has different instructions for us now that we changed.
Which means he changed his mind.
He
Not,
did not
he
change
did.
his mind. He did not change it. The moral
How do
aspect,
you not
the
see
moral,
that he?
the moral aspect of the law
Uh,
is what? What is the moral aspect of the law? Protect human beings. So if you are now able to fly, God did not change his mind about protecting you. When you weren't able to fly, he said, do not jump.
no, he did not change his mind
When
about
you are
protecting you.
able
But
to fly, hold on, let me finish my point. When you are, let's take flying, for example. The moral aspect does not change. If that's what you're attacking, you're not talking about God changing, you're talking about his moral aspects, his moral heart. The moral aspect of the law is do not harm yourself or others. If you develop, because you change, if you develop the ability to fly, then God says you can go ahead and fly now. It's God didn't change his moral attribute.
Jill,
You
shut up.
changed, and now you have a different ability, and it doesn't
Jill,
harm you anymore.
right. At one point, God thought incest was okay,
Why?
and at one point, he
Why was it
thought
okay?
incest was
Why
okay.
was it
That,
okay at one point?
that, that is God changing his mind.
Changing his
That
mind
is
about what?
whether incest is okay or not.
Why was it incest not okay?
It doesn't matter
It
why.
does matter
You,
why. He's looking out
yeah,
for our welfare. It does matter
but
why.
he
You,
changed his
you're
mind.
you're stepping out of the Christian worldview. If you're doing an internal critique, you're having a hard time doing it. If the God of the Bible is concerned about our welfare, so if there is a point in which you are only 5'2", he's going to tell you to build houses that will accommodate a 5.2 person. If you grow to 6'8", he's no longer going to tell you to grow to plant or to build buildings that accommodate 5'2" people. That would be a
Right?
hateful God, not a loving
What,
God.
what about slavery? At one point, God allowed slavery,
Okay,
and
before you,
the
all right,
God
I really
slavery.
don't want to do the slavery thing,
Yeah,
but
Wild Heart, just
yeah,
that's literally been done to death.
so we need to get away from thou shall and what is the purpose of the law? The purpose of the law is to protect and serve. The same thing in our culture. If people start doing things that they normally didn't do, like running into CVS and just ransacking 40, 50 people at a time, now the law has to change. The moral aspect of the law hasn't changed, protect and serve. But the law has to now adopt because you changed. So the law now has to adopt to accommodate you so that you're protected.
Well,
That's a loving God.
I wish Hillary was
30
here.
30,000 people die a day of starvation, 10,000 of which are children, and God allows that. So he's looking after us.
Yes, children, starving children do die.
You're okay with
So,
that?
The poor will always be with us. Yes.
so God's okay with that. He doesn't say
No,
the starving children.
he's not okay with that because he gave you the means, Wildheart, he gave you the means to go out and produce, to be charitable to those individuals. And
Are
you
you
decided
charitable?
not to.
Are
And
you
you decided
charitable?
and you decided not to. You in Midnight decided not to be charitable to those individuals. So
Right. So
you're the
Well,
it's
blame,
my
hold on. What about you, Jill? Are you charitable?
of
Huh? Are
course.
you in? Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, I believe you.
I believe you also.
I
believe
never. I know. I'm not. I'm not claiming to be charitable, as you said. As you said, like I'm asking you whether you are.
I believe
You're
you're
the
not
one who believes in God.
I believe you're not charitable at all. And that's why we have poor people, Wildheart.
right, but
Oh,
but
you're retarded.
your point, Jill, your point was that God looks after everyone, but he let 30,000 people a week die to death from starvation.
Uh-huh.
10,000 of which are
Okay.
children.
Okay. So now you're taking it to the next level where obedience now is required. So now God has a law against incest. You decide you're going to violate it. Now there are consequences that come along with violating the law. You can't blame God for your two children who now have palsy, cerebral palsy. Okay. So the
No,
reason why we have poor people is because people do not obey God's law that he gave to be charitable. So you can't
your
put that on
point
God.
was that God looks after everyone, but he
And he
lets
did.
30,000 people a week starve to death.
Okay. You're skipping a step. God gave a law for you to be charitable. How much money have you given to starving people the past year? God gave a law for you to do it, which is indicating that he's not going to do it. He's going to put that responsibility on you.
So he
Okay.
doesn't care how many
No,
people
no, no, no,
starve
no,
to
no, no,
death.
no. Didn't say he didn't care. He's putting that responsibility. He does care, and he's putting that responsibility on you. You're the closest one to the poor people. You go feed them.
No, your point
No,
was
no, he's supposed to supernaturally do it because he's God.
God looks after everyone. Yet
Yes,
37
yes.
die every week from starvation.
What are you doing about it?
That,
God left
that
you in
is
charge.
incompatible.
God left you in charge. Should he not have left you in charge? Maybe you can blame him for leaving you in charge and not us. Because when Christians were in charge, we didn't see what we're seeing today. So maybe you're the problem.
If he cared for everyone, he wouldn't let anyone starve to death. Is
And
the
in
point?
and in Christian Europe, no one starved to death for 500 years under Christian Europe. So maybe you're the problem. He left us humans in charge of that task and we dropped the ball. And now you want to blame God. Well, blame God for putting you in charge of that task. Yeah, I would blame God for that. You're right. But you're ignoring the fact that he put you in charge of that task to feed the poor people. So did he make a mistake by putting humans in that position, or should he have done it supernaturally? You're
Yeah,
arguing he should have done it supernaturally instead of putting us in that position to do that for him?
yeah. He should.
Okay.
He should have
Okay.
supernaturally.
He should
He
have.
should
Okay.
have supernaturally stopped anyone from starving to death.
Okay.
Otherwise, he's not an all good God, is he?
Okay. That's your opinion. You can have your opinion. You're saying it was a mistake for God to allow humans to do it, to instruct humans to do it, command humans to do it. He should have done it himself supernaturally. Okay.
Yeah.
I thank God he
Other-
created a world in which that's not the case.
Otherwise, he's not an all good God. You can't have an all good God that lets 30,000 people a week starve to death.
Right.
That is incompatible.
And you can't have a good God or a smart God that puts atheists in charge of people in which they starved. Stalin starved 100 million. So, yeah,
It doesn't
or
matter.
20 million. So you can't put, God was not smart.
You do realize that Stalin was more focused on political rather than religious, right?
Right. So you can't put, so God was not smart. You can argue that. I'll stand with you. That was dumb. Now I have a reason. Now I believe that there is an ultimate good that will come out of it. But to put God in charge of that, to put an atheist in charge of that many people, God should not have allowed that. In fact, no atheist should be even parents. God should not allow parents to be atheists to be parents. He should not allow that. He should
yeah. Christians make the bet.
No,
Okay, go ahead.
fuck up. Jill, do you
I mean,
believe
since
that
we're getting
God-
into counterfactuals, let's have fun with it.
Do you believe that God is omnipotent? He can do anything.
No, that's not what omnipotent means.
You don't believe
It literally does. It's omnipotent. Like,
Not biblically. You can make up your own definition and try to impose
okay,
it.
well, what does omnipotent mean biblically then?
Biblically, it just means no one is more powerful than him. There are many things God cannot do. One of those things is lie. As I mentioned earlier, God also cannot create someone like himself. He cannot create another God like himself.
He literally created angel. You know what, Wild Heart? You go ahead. This is your channel.
They're not like God. God is unique. There is nothing.
Well, Satan is like God.
No, he is not. Satan is a created being, like an angel. He's an angel that's just bad. Okay. So God cannot duplicate himself, and he cannot lie.
So God is not omnipotent.
No, just your definition of omnipotent doesn't correspond to the text. If your definition is he can do anything, but the text says he can't do everything, then that can't be what the Bible means by omnipotent. All omnipotence means is that there is no one more powerful than him. So if God wants to do something like stop the global warming, he can do it, and there's nothing the Republicans can do to stop him. Okay, that's what all.
It's funny that he's not doing that.
like many Republicans, he doesn't feel as though it's a problem. but that's what all powerful means, Lawheart. That's what all powerful means. Okay.
Bill, shut the fuck up.
Well, you don't have to cuss.
God omniscient.
Uh-huh.
He knows everything.
Say that again.
Do you believe that God is omniscient? That he
All
knows
knowing,
everything?
that he knows everything. Yes.
Right. So he's not omnipotent.
Not
He
not
is
in your definition, no. Your
what
definition is an
what
imposition.
function then?
I just gave you it. It means that there isn't anyone that is more powerful than he is. So if God wants to do something in the earth, whether it be destroy uh, Los Angeles or Burbage Street or Los Angeles, or he wants to burn Los Angeles down, there is nothing you or I or any entity can do about it to stop him. That's what all
Then
powerful means biblically. Biblically. It does not
then
mean he can do everything. God cannot lie. God cannot create himself. God cannot cease to exist.
then,
So your
then you
definition logically doesn't correspond to reality.
that, that shut the fuck up. So
I was
then
just
you can't.
breathing.
That was while hard
No,
breathing.
sorry. So then you can't believe that God is omnibenevolent.
All loving?
Yeah.
No, God is not all loving. I
So
don't know who told
he's
you
not,
that. No, the Bible does not teach that he is all loving.
and he's not. So you don't believe in the omnigods.
He's omnipresent, he's omnipotent, he's omniscient, but the Bible never teaches he's omnibenevolent. That's something some Greek philosopher made up as an imposition or straw man, we can call it, to knock it down. So you create an idea of God that's easy to defeat. And then you defeat that idea, but that's not what the Bible says. God loves his people. He loves everyone in a providential sense, in that he provides for everyone.
Right. So
The
you
sun, the
just
moon.
contradicting for every turn. So God cares about everyone, but he lets 30,000 people die a week from starvation.
Oh, we've already gone through that road. That's your fault. God left you in charge. So blame God for leaving you in charge.
But if he's
Which
so
is blaming yourself. Oh, which is
so
also blaming yourself.
you don't believe in an omnibenevolent God. You don't believe in a omnipresent God. You don't
We do
believe.
believe in an omnipresent. Yeah, it's your definition of all powerful is wrong, and I think you have a misunderstanding of what all loving is, because God provides rain for you. He provides rain for
If,
me.
if I love someone, if I loved anyone, I wouldn't let them starve to death. God does let them starve to death. Therefore, he can't be omnibenevolent. Yeah?
Well, yeah, you can argue that he doesn't love them enough to supernaturally feed them to keep them from starvation. He only loved them enough, leaving to whereby he left us in charge, which you're saying is a mistake. Gotcha. He left us in charge of feeding them. So he didn't love them enough to whereby he made sure they had provision supernaturally, like he did the children of Israel in the land of, or in the wilderness. He didn't love them that much, but he did love them enough to leave us in charge, provide us with abilities to work, and therefore be charitable to those individuals so that whereby they wouldn't exist, like Christian Europe for 500
But
years, from the 5th century
if,
to the 10th century. Right.
if,
Gotcha.
he,
Gotcha.
if he was omnibenevolent, then he wouldn't let anyone starve to death, would he?
I think no, he would, because
Why?
if I were God, I would not allow any country to thrive that disobeyed my commandments. I would only allow those countries that obeyed my
Oh,
commandments to thrive.
so
So
in,
everyone else can go to hell.
Ah,
If I'm God, and I gave you an example of that. Christian Europe for 500 years did not have one slave because they followed the laws of God, so they were not cursed. You didn't see homeless people in the street.
so,
You didn't
so
see
you're saying,
children growing up without fathers. You didn't
shut
see
the
that in
fuck
the
up, dude.
okay. So blessings
Shut
from
the fuck up. Let me speak. So you're saying
well,
that the 2-year-olds that died to death,
uh,
they are just bad people that God doesn't give
they
a
are
shit about.
suffering from yes, they are suffering from a curse that
You fuck
you, because of your
twat.
disobedience, because you
Fuck.
won't get up and get a job and help those individuals. They are suffering, yes. And God does allow suffering.
Right, I've removed Joe. He just said that 2-year-olds that die of starvation deserve it because they're bad people. The fucking 2-year-old, you ignorant fuckwit twat. Fucking hell.
Yeah, Mr. Nice, that's kind of a straw man or something. A lot of them want God to be a sugar daddy. It's like, the fuck kind of argument is that? I mean, I know it's probably more like a joke or whatever, but it's like, what the fuck? You know what? I don't know what the fuck out do I expect from Jill. Really, true humanitarian there. True humanitarian. He really cares about humanity in general. Oh, no, he doesn't. He only cares about Christians. Because it's like, well, they 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 didn't follow God's laws, therefore that's why they went to hell. Give me a fucking break. What the fuck is wrong with you? Seriously. There are many people out there who believe in God, who are good Christians, and yet still go through hell every fucking day. Okay, they still suffer from poverty. They still suffer from mental illness. They believe with all their heart in God and Jesus, yet they still suffer. Well, they're just not Christians. Fuck you with that. I fucking hate that. I fucking hate that shit. Like, you're not a real Christian because you don't believe what I believe. What the what? Sorry, Wild Hearted. You just drove me fucking nuts. Your channel, go ahead. Oh, he left. I
Sorry,
never said life was a theme park. Okay, that's not the argument being made here.
I keep knocking myself out of the studio. I'm trying to
Yeah,
look
well,
at
that's fine.
uh what comment did he make?
He said that you wanted God to be a sugar daddy, and let's see what else.
No, I'm not me personally. I'm just saying an omnibenevolent God wouldn't let 30,000 people starve to death each week. It's nothing to do with me. It's just if he's omnibenevolent means all loving, all good. He wouldn't let anyone starve to death. He would give them food. That was the point I was trying to make. I've just let Joe back in. Oh, for fuck's sake. No,
Yeah, God is not omnibenevolent, so game's over. Sorry.
no, that's fine. So you
Yeah.
don't believe in an
So your game's
omnibenevolent.
over. Yeah. Your game's over. Can't play the game
So
anymore, can you?
what God do you believe in then? If he's not omnibenevolent, if he's not all the omnis.
He's omnipresent, he's omnipotent, all powerful, and he's omniscient, all knowing.
If he was
Okay?
all powerful, so he's all powerful, but he's not all good, is what you're saying.
All good?
Yeah.
No.
All right. So you believing in omnipresent God that is not all good?
Mm, mm. Well, just like your definition of omnipresent or omniscience, excuse me, omnipotent is
Yeah.
severely flawed, I'm assuming your definition
No,
of all loving is flawed as well.
it's not my definitions. You're
And
saying that
in fact, I
God,
know it's flawed.
you're saying that the God you believe in lets 30,000 people starve to death every week.
That is correct because he's also a just God.
So they deserve to die.
And your definition of I never said that. Well, that was your straw man that you propped up because you were getting emotional. Who said they deserve to die?
But
God says that the people who leech off of the taxpayer and doesn't feed the homeless deserves to die. That's who God says deserves to die.
so 2-year-old children who don't pay tax deserve to die.
That's who God. Yeah, the people who are allowing starving people to die because they won't get up off of their lazy butts and work and give to the
Two,
poor. Those are the
like
people who God says are worthy of death, not the people
like a
who are starving.
like a 6 month old child
Mhm.
because he
You
doesn't pay
you
tax.
would be put to death. Yeah, you would be put to death for that child starving. Yes. And
Uh,
that's how God is also a just God. He's a God of love, but he's also a just God. So if he puts you in charge of something because he is in control, and if he tells you to do something and you don't do it, he's going to hold you responsible for it. He's not going to step in and do what he instructed you to do because then you become complacent. You say, well, I don't have to work. I don't have to take care of my family. Okay. So you understand that God is dealing with humans, not robots. Okay, so he's not going to pre-program
so
you to do what's right.
a 6 month old child that doesn't pay tax deserves to die.
If there's a starving baby that dies as a result of you not working and feeding that baby, then you would be put to death. You can't go to God and say, God, you said you were all loving. Where's the manna falling down from heaven? Where are the geese that you were supposed to drop down, or the what was the animal in the book of
But it's
Exodus?
not the child's fault that they don't pay tax at like 6 months old.
What was the animal that God in the when the children of Israel were in the wilderness and they didn't have any food, he sent them animals. He sent them some sort of bird, but I can't remember the type of bird. And birds just started falling out of the sky. Okay.
Yeah.
So God doesn't do that. Okay, those are rare occasions where God will do that. And I believe he doesn't do that because if that were the case, then he'd have to do that every single time.
Jill, you are saying that like 6 month old children that don't pay tax deserve to die
No.
because
I
they don't.
said you deserve to die if you refuse to work and feed and follow God, what God told you to do. Feed the orphan, take care of the widow.
It's a
If
six
you
month
do
old
not do that,
who
yes,
doesn't know.
so God is going to blame you. You're the problem, not God. God put you in
It,
charge of that. He handed that over to you and said, "Do this." Which is saying I'm not going to do it. I've
you
instructed
just
you to do it. And you said, "No, God, I'm going to stay at home and not work and not take care of the orphan." So God is going to judge you for
so
now and for eternity.
you
For now and for eternity.
what? So you are saying that a 6 month old child deserves to die because they don't pay taxes. You fucking idiot. Fuck off.
So you're just gonna repeat the same failed argument. Oh gosh. Midnight, are you paying attention to what's going on?
I mean,
Oh god.
hey, you know what? At this point, what the
No,
fuck are we gonna do? Honestly,
it wasn't Ravens, Mr. Nice. It was what was that bird? It's a delicacy today. That bird. It's not a
Uh,
dove.
no, I think it was a dove.
No,
Or a crow.
no. To feed the Israelites in the wilderness, it was a quail. It was a
Well,
quail. Yeah.
yeah, it was. Yeah.
So there was a time the Bible records where God did that. And what did the people do when God did that? When He provided food, if I were God, I'd have the same attitude. What was their response when He provided the quail when they were starving, and He stopped them from starving to death? What was their response? Do you know the story?
I,
I'm tired of eating all this quail every single day.
yeah,
If I was God at that point, I would have just wiped them all out. Just wipe them all up and start over again. How dare you complain about eating quail every day when you were starving to death? But this is human. This is the human condition we're in. We're fickle. We don't know what we want. We want we want one thing one day and then another the next day. You think God is in heaven playing with us like some of our husbands do? Some of these poor husbands do with their wives. You think God's up in heaven saying, "Oh no, he that's gonna make him upset if I don't put the toilet seat down." You make God into some sort of weak beta male husband married to some city girl, some woman of the streets who had four babies by another man before he even met her, and he's taking care of all four of them, and she had three more that aren't his. You treat God like he's that guy. God tells you to do something, you don't do it, and he's supposed to step in now and do it for you. I wouldn't serve a God
but
like that. That's a wimp.
sorry, was your claim that it was omnibenevolent?
Yes. What do I mean by that?
That he's all good.
Okay. That he's all good. That means he only does good things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would would saving 30,000 people from dying a week from starvation, would that be good?
Yeah, he's done that before. You're
Yeah,
saying he
no,
needs to do it every single time. That's what you're saying, right? So in order to be
no.
good, in order to be all good or all loving, he would have to do that for every single starving person that's ever lived in the history of humanity, not just 30,000 times. He may have even done it 1,000,000 times on an individual
Yeah,
basis,
he would
right?
have to do it every time.
He would have to do it every
Therefore,
time.
if he
Okay.
didn't do it every time, he would not be omnibenevolent.
Okay. Now, let's take that logic to its conclusion. Okay? Let's take that logic to its conclusion, which means starvation does not exist, right?
Yeah.
No such thing as starvation. We're back in the garden. That's how it was in the Garden of Eden. Okay? God sustained them. They didn't need food. Okay? Now, what's
No,
impossible? What's
no,
impossible now?
no, sorry, they did need food in the Garden of Eden.
Right.
They just couldn't eat from the tree of
Right.
good and
So,
evil.
and God was the one sustaining them. Adam didn't have to necessarily till the ground. Everything was magical, basically. Okay. What would be
Yeah.
the result? What would be the result of no one starving to death?
Everything would be better. No one was starved to death.
Everything would no. There would be if no one could have any issue. If no one had hunger at all,
Not hunger,
not hunger, just starving to death.
starving to death. Yeah.
Okay. So what would be
If,
the
if God is all powerful and he can do everything, then he could stop 30,000 people starving to death every day, and he doesn't. Therefore, he's not omnibenevolent. That is their argument.
because your definition of omnibenevolent has now shifted to God stopping everyone from starving to death. That's not the Bible's definition of omnibenevolent, if there is one.
What is your definition of the Bible?
Well, it's just the idea that God extends love to all of creation, including humanity. That doesn't mean that every bird is born with two wings. Some birds are born with. Well, let me
Yeah.
finish my point, please, if I may.
So
So when we say God is all loving, we're talking about God, and if you're talking about His initial creation, there were none of these flaws. God allowed man to fall into sin, which led to many of these conditions and circumstances you're complaining about now. Okay. So God's love is not a reflection of our decision or Adam's decision to disobey and to accept a curse rather than a blessing that he had.
okay, we can change the argument. Do you think it's just to like put people to death because of their ancestors' mistakes?
Should God put people to death because of their ancestors' mistakes?
Yeah. Like if your grandfather like stole a car or something, should you be put in prison for it?
No, because that's a physical act.
That that is what God is doing. Because Adam and Eve fell, apparently,
Mhm.
according to the Bible.
So you're in jail right now. Why did you go to jail? It wasn't because of Adam and Eve.
No, no, I got
It wasn't because Adam ate the apple, was it? So that's dealing with a spiritual condition. So yes, God
but,
can make
but
everyone spiritually fallen. Yeah, yeah.
you said it's incorrect
Right, because you're
to.
talking about a physical reality when this is not referring to a physical jail.
I'm not talking about jail.
Well, you said should you go to jail or should be for something my grandparents did physically. They physically did an act, let's say murder. No.
Yeah.
My answer is no. But should I be in a spiritual condition because of Adam's fall? Yes. Yeah, because
Why?
the spiritual realm doesn't work the same as the physical realm. They're two different realms. So
Well,
if you don't know the rules of that realm, then you can't speak on what should or should not be in that realm.
why do you believe in the spiritual realm? What evidence do we have of the spiritual realm?
What evidence do we have of the spirit? What physical evidence do we have of the spiritual realm? Not much. To
Yeah.
be honest with you, it shouldn't. It shouldn't be any. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a different realm. It would be our realm. It's not air. What evidence do you
Then
have of the air?
why do you believe in it?
Why do I believe in it? Well, there are a few reasons why I believe the Bible
No,
is
no, you just said there is no evidence of the spiritual
phys-
realm. So why do
well.
you fucking believe in it? You
If you're talking
fuckwit.
about scientific evidence, you could go talk to Praise because he might have some. But
Any evidence? Any
scientific
evidence?
evidence? Well, what
Yeah.
other evidence is there? What other evidence is there besides empirical evidence?
Right. So you don't have any empirical evidence of the spiritual
I,
realm,
I'm
and
asking a question. What other evidence is there to be had besides empirical or scientific evidence?
None.
Okay. All right. So since you believe that is the only way to prove God, is evidentially, and God says that he is non-corporeal, non-physical, then you're fighting a losing battle. You're climbing up a steep hill.
So,
You're not going to make it.
so why do you believe in God if there's no? You've said the only evidence that you can have is scientific, and you
The
said
scriptures. The scriptures is proven itself to be from not from an empirical source, not from a physical
how
source, but
how is that how is that the case?
well, the for one predictive prophecies
Uh,
in scripture that predict what's going to happen in the future before it happens. So basically, the only way for God to prove himself is to tell you what's going, since he can't show himself, he's not physical, is to show you what's going to happen in your realm before it happens. That's basically the only way. Other than coming, which he did physically, which he did, but that was 2,000 years ago. You don't remember that, do you? So, so other than that, I'd say the next best way would be to tell you what's going to happen in your
Jill,
realm.
you are just a troll.
What, I mean, what's wrong? What's
You're
wrong?
making
These are
no sense. You're
I'm
making
making no
no sense.
sense. Tell me what didn't make sense.
Yes,
God does
yes.
not have the ability, or he does, but he only did that once. But
Fuck off. You just said he's omnipotent.
omnipotent. What does that mean? Does that mean he could do anything?
Yeah,
No,
and yet
no, no. You're regressing. That's not the definition I gave you. Well, try again. See, most of the time, Malhart, when you reject the God of the Bible, it's on a false premise. You build false premise after false premise, and then you say therefore, and then when it's pointed out to you that that's a false idea of omnipotent, you say, no, that's the definition.
Right.
That's definite.
So
And
what
that
is
works
your
for your argument.
definition?
Well, I'll give you one that doesn't work for your argument. It means that there is no one more powerful than God. If he wants to do something, there is no one in the universe or no thing in the universe that can stop him. It doesn't mean he can do anything. There are some things God cannot do that we can do, like lie, like what you've been doing for the past 2 hours.
Right. So does God want me to know that he exists?
Now, according to Jay Passick and William Freeman, that means that we're more powerful than God, or Service. Oh, we can do something more than God. Oh, we're more powerful than God. Shut up,
It's a
liberal.
yes or no question.
Can't even pay your taxes
Does
on time.
God want me to know that he exists?
Does what? Does God want everyone to know he exists?
Does God want me to know that he exists?
Yes.
And he
I,
is
I believe
omnipotent.
I believe that. I believe that, yes.
And do you believe that he is omnipotent? He can
Omnipotent
do
meaning that if omnipotent, based on my definition, not yours, means that if he wants you to know he exists, no one can stop him from doing so. If God wants you to know he exists, I can't stop him. Wild Heart can't stop him. The police can't stop him. No one can stop him.
so
Saturn can't stop him. Mars can't stop him.
he clearly doesn't want me to know he exists.
At this point, perhaps. I can't say for sure.
Right. So
I can't
he
speak
wants
about God for he's eternal. So I can't say when
this.
God wants you to believe, or I couldn't say. But he hasn't revealed himself to you at this point. But I can't say if you're one of the ones he wants to know intimately. I won't find that out maybe until the end, or maybe
So
in 5
he,
years.
wa- he wants everyone to know he exists, yet I don't know he exists. Can you see the problem with that?
He wants everyone to know he. I believe that you do know he exists. I thought you were talking about salvation. Okay, I believe you do know he exists. You're just
I don't
suppressing that truth. Yes, you do.
know
You
suppressing
know
the
he
truth is
exists.
righteousness. Doesn't
You
work.
know he exists.
I don't know he exists.
Okay.
I don't think he
I don't
exists.
believe you. Now what? I don't believe you're telling the truth. I think you're lying. Just like you believe I'm a janitor, even though I've taught you integers.
No, he don't.
No evidence at all that I'm a janitor. No empirical evidence at all that I'm a janitor. But he believes by faith. But he claims to be a naturalist, and he only accepts evidence that's empirical. He has no, in order for him to accept something as the truth, but he has none of that when it comes to Jill being a teacher or not. Yet he believes. So you contradict your own worldview, Walhart.
Because you so much bullshit that I can't believe you're a teacher.
You contradict your own worldview, Walhart. What's your evidence? What's your empirical evidence for that?
I don't have any empirical evidence. It's
Just
just
your opinion.
yeah. You are
Would a
so
teacher, let me see, would a janitor have this in his oh no, I can't show you that. Definitely can't show you that. I don't know any janitor that.
yeah. No, I don't care whether you're a janitor or not. Can we get back to the topic? Why should I
What
believe
topic?
that God exists?
Well, what do
Why should
you? Why?
I?
Why should you believe God exists?
Yeah.
Uh, what do you mean? Why? Why should you believe God exists?
Why should I believe that God exists? What is your best reason for why you believe that God exists?
Yeah, I think the moral argument is probably the best. So since there can't be any physical evidence because God only reveals himself that way when he feels like it, and he felt like it 2,000 years ago. You're not going to dictate to him. You're not going to dictate when he does it again. Even Jesus says, "I don't know the day or the hour." But I think the moral argument for God is probably the best. The moral argument for God. You ever heard of the moral argument for the existence of God? Well, are you there? Oh no, he froze. Midnight, you there? Midnight?
Yeah, I'm here.
I think he froze.
Yep. Honestly, I'm surprised. I'm surprised it lasted this long.
Yeah, yeah. It usually would have gone out by now. That's what happens when you rely on the taxpayer dollar to pay for your internet.
Or he's on a shitty phone.
That's what happens when you rely on the government to pay for your phone.
All right, I'm about.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah,
Is your phone government sponsored? Just curious.
no. What was your question?
Oh no, I was answering your question. I said that I believe the moral argument for God's existence is probably the best argument for God's existence.
But
Since you're not going
do
to get
you,
a physical, empirical support, you're not going to get it. Sorry. Cry if you want.
do you not believe that morals are just because we need to exist with each other? So we should look after each other. That doesn't include a God.
No, I'm talking about moral truths that they exist independently of human opinion, like what you've been doing here
Oh, I don't
for
agree with
2 hours. So the argument pos uh, deposits the idea that moral objective morality exists independently of human cultural norms or opinions.
that. Yeah, can you demonstrate that?
What do you mean demonstrate? That's that
Like,
it doesn't come from. Well, where does it come from? Where do you believe it comes from? Just people just being together, just started being
yeah,
compassionate.
yeah, just like communities needing to get on with one another. So
Right. So where did that come from? Where did that compassion, kindness come from, and justice? It's inherently, it's inherent,
uh,
right?
it just comes naturally because
What
we,
what do you
we
mean it
have
just
to
comes natural?
we
Okay.
have
We
to.
believe God created humans to whereby that would just come naturally. When you grow up, become an adult, that should come naturally. Maybe when you're a child, you may not have as much compassion, but or kindness, or know what justice is, but
Yeah,
we don't
no,
believe that develops through solely by cultural norms. It can be perverted by culture, but we believe
so
that's inherent,
comes from God.
regardless of whether or not you believe it or not.
No,
Justice is inherently good.
I'm just asking you. I think it comes from cultural norms because we have to get on with one another. So you should be moral to one another. You shouldn't steal because you don't want to be stolen from. You shouldn't kill because you don't want to be killed.
What if I want to be killed?
Uh, I don't know.
Well, the argument just suggests that the best explanation for the existence of these feelings, you might say, is the existence of a divine lawgiver who had to establish these moral
More
truths.
because people disagree on like there are 44 like thousand denominations of Christianity. So even Christianity doesn't agree with itself.
Right. They're Christianities. They're people that disagree with the divine source within Christianity. Yeah, sure. So, but the
So
idea is that the moral values are not arbitrary or
so
simply human
how, how can
inventions.
uh, how can you demonstrate that there is like one like divine law given from God if 44,000 different denominations of Christianity disagree with themselves, then it can't come from God, can it?
Well, I don't know where you got the 30,000 from, but there aren't that many denominations. Second, the denominations are not divided over whether or not it's wrong to kill babies, if you didn't notice. The denominations are divided over minor differences, like I like to hear music when I worship. I don't like music. So I create the church of no music. Stay away from me. Don't bring your guitar anywhere near me. I think I think music is of the devil. So there are minor disagreements which I don't think God is happy with, but they are not being separated on the moral
but
aspects of the law of God. not one will argue it's
The-
okay to abort. Well, actually, I can't say that today because they have liberal Christians now, quote unquote, which is an oxymoron, a contradiction, a walking contradiction if you're a liberal Christian. But
But there are like literal differences
they're
within
not based on moral obligations. They're not differences in moral obligations, unless you're talking about a liberal Christian,
How
quote unquote.
how do you know that your Christianity is right? It's clearly not coming from God. It's not a moral law just from one God. It can't be.
Well, the moral law is the same. It we all believe in the moral law and moral values. We all have the same moral values. So you're talking about doctrine that has to deal with other things other than the moral truths, like doctrines about who Jesus Christ is, where did he come from, or the Trinity versus the Unitarian. Those are doctrinal issues. Those are not moral issues.
If God was the if God was the moral lawgiver of the universe, then everyone would know what his morals were.
Everyone does know. You know instinctively that if you see um, a young girl being attacked by four black men, first of all, if you see four black men approaching a young white girl, you would know instinctively that there was going to be some trouble. But you would know instinctively that that was wrong, and you would try to stop that. What was going
Yeah, I would, but
on?
I will base that on different laws and God because the four black
Well,
guys
well,
that
nothing
were
has
trying
happened
to
yet. No law has been broken yet. But instinctively, you know that
yeah
you have a feeling that something is right or wrong or good and evil is about to occur. We don't believe that evolved in you. That has always been. That's what how God created you to have that sense of moral obligation.
no that's not right.
Well, I'm just saying that's what we believe. There's an intuitive appeal to the idea of conscience
But,
and guilt and sense
but
of moral.
you've got to back that up with evidence.
These are all
You,
these are metaphysical realities. So I don't know what evidence you want other than they're there and you can't deny them.
so you
Love,
want yes.
moral obligation, they're metaphysical. They're not something you can measure.
You've got to demonstrate that that comes from God.
Well, the what do you mean demonstrate they come from God? The argument suggests that the moral realm and the realm uh, of religion, if you want to call it, are linked. So that implies a divine origin, not a secular origin. That's the argument. It implies that God is the source, not us.
But why does it imply that it's from God? You first you got to demonstrate that God exists. Can you do?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Well, so we're back to in a circle. So we started off with, remember, no empirical evidence. There can't be.
Yeah.
And now we're back here again. And I'm going to say again,
Can you demonstrate that God exists?
empirically, no.
And anywhere.
We're back here at ground. We're back at square one again. In any way, is there any other way to prove that God exists in your worldview other than empirical evidence? Physically seeing him, touching him? Is there any other, doing a scientific experiment to basically uncover one of his toes, maybe his pinky toe? I don't know. But is there any other way to prove something exists in your worldview other than physical evidence?
No.
Okay, then. So we're back to square one. So that's why you see philosophers like Descartes actually use arguments that are not scientific,
Uh, did you say
but
Artemis?
philosophical arguments for God's existence.
Artemis, therefore God exists. Can you demonstrate that God exists?
Philosophically, yes. I
Anywhere.
can make an argument philosophically, yes.
Go on.
But you're looking for empirical support.
No,
You're
I'll
not going to
take
get. He's not going to appear to you because you want to do an experiment on him. I wouldn't. In fact, if God were to do that, I would stop worshiping him.
no, I'll take philosophical. What is your best argument that God exists?
I think again. I think the best argument is the moral argument. The moral,
But
the
that's not.
existence of morality.
I've, I've just explained why that's not an argument. I can have morals without God because I don't want to be harmed by people and I don't want to harm other people.
Well, that's
So
you. That's you. There are people who do want to harm. Well, why should they not harm? Because they want to harm people. So why shouldn't they have the right to harm?
if God exists, then why would there be people that wanted to harm other people?
If God exists, why would there be people? Because God created humans and he didn't
In,
create himself. If he created himself and himself had babies, then there would be no sin, there would be no murder, there wouldn't be any of those problems. But he decided, because God isn't as smart as you or I, he decided to create humans and angels and creatures that are not perfect, and thus they fell, and thus they kill each other, they rape each other, they kill their own babies.
but why would he do that if he's
I don't know why he would do it. In my opinion, if I were God, I would have just stayed by myself, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, loving each other for eternity. I would not have created a creature like Satan. Now, I'm saying this because I don't know what God's plan is. Ultimately, I do know that it is good. It's going to be good for us in the end. But if I'm speaking from, I guess, your perspective, where I don't know the consequence, I would not have done it because the first creation, his angels, what happened? They turned on him. Not just Satan, but a third, one third, 33% of the angels turned on their own creator.
exactly that is the problem?
Exactly. That was the problem. The problem was God decided to create at all. If he had not decided to create, we wouldn't be here, but we
Yeah.
wouldn't have the bad things. We would
If
not.
God is
Okay.
perfect, then him creating anything imperfect is like a lessening of the, you know what I mean? It's like,
Falls short. The Bible says everything falls short of God's glory, because God cannot create himself. So the only alternative is no creation at all. I agree. That's the only moral choice. Or if you want to say that's a better moral choice, go right ahead. You're wishing everything out of existence by saying that.
yeah, if God is 100% like perfect, as soon as he creates something imperfect, he's like lowering the standards. You know what I
You,
mean?
you think that lowers his standard of perfection because he creates something that's not perfect?
Yeah.
I think that increases that. That's kind of interesting, but I think that increases his perfection or the idea of what perfect is. The
No,
fact that he can't.
if God is 100% perfect and he creates a universe that is like 90% perfect, let's
Okay.
make it numbers, then he's lowering the tolerance of perfect. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. All right. So let's try to think about this. There's only one God that has always existed, right?
That's a claim.
That's the claim,
You
right? If you're trying to do a critique and an internal critique. So let's dive in to what the
yeah.
Bible actually says. Okay. Can that God create anything that has perfect knowledge at this point? We're in eternity. I've always existed.
Yeah.
Can
If
he
if
create anything like himself?
yeah, if he's
N-
omnipotent, then he can do
No,
anything.
no.
Why not?
Wildheart, Wildheart, listen to what you just said. Listen. I've always existed. I have knowledge of everything that's going to happen, that's not going to happen, that I've always existed. As soon as I create anything, it's going to have a beginning. It's not going to have the knowledge of what happened before. It doesn't
No,
have the knowledge of what's going to happen in the
not
future.
like that.
It's only
Um,
now.
if God is 100% perfect, then as soon as he creates something that isn't 100% perfect, he is bringing down the conditions of
Mm, no,
perfection.
that doesn't make sense. If I'm a perfect being, I cannot create anyone that is perfect. If I'm a
Yeah,
perfect eternal being, Walhart, logically, use some logic and reasoning here. I am a perfect eternal being. I've always existed and will always exist. Okay? Let's say now in eternity there's no time, but let's say day 100, I say I'm going to create something. Can what I create be equal to me? Logically
no,
speaking, no, it cannot. It cannot
I,
be equal to me because it begins to exist at 100, day 100. It doesn't have the knowledge and information about days 1 through 99. It
no,
doesn't even okay.
I'm not, I'm not saying that he should create like all humans like equal to God. I'm
Okay.
saying if God is 100% perfect,
Hmm.
why create anything? Why create the universe?
Because a 100% perfect being is a being that knows all and has always existed. In order for you to be 100% perfect, you have to have all knowledge. That why you'll never make a mistake. The person that he creates, while hard, doesn't have the knowledge unless it's given to him, revealed to him by God, of what happened 100 days prior to him coming into existence. Therefore, he is automatically going to be less than 100% by default, logically
Exactly.
speaking, Walhart. So the only alternative, Walhart, is no creation at all. That's the
We are
only alternative.
we are agreeing. I'm saying if God is all that exists at the beginning,
Hmm.
and then he creates something that is less than 100%, why would he do that? Because it makes it less than 100%.
Why would he do that? Well, I don't know the answer to that. Because, like I said, I would not have even gone through, but there must be a good reason why we believe, we have faith. There must be ultimately a good reason why he would allow sodomy, why he would allow all of these things to occur in the
First.
earth, rape, murder. There has to be a good reason as to why he would create in the first place.
But do you know that good reason?
No. Well, I would say because he does have a
You,
plan.
you
He
just
does.
believe in faith that there's a good reason why God created the universe.
Well, the Bible does describe us in a place where paradise is going to be restored, but one could argue he could have just restored it right after Adam fell. right? He could have forgiven, but he went through this process in which he would himself would come and die on the cross for our sins.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry, Joe, I'm going to end the stream because you're just talking bullshit.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to you next time. See you next time.
Well, you're gonna end the stream, bro.